Hey guys, welcome back to Stellar Sessions. Again, we bring back Liran. How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
Not bad, not bad. And so, guys, today we're going to be talking about failure, one of the products that went sideways for Liran. So,
Mhm.
Liran, tell me, what was the product? Let's start with that first.
Sure. The product was baby moccasins, like these kind of like soft leather baby shoes, baby moccasins that babies wear, like for under like 1 year olds,
Right.
I guess before they get shoes.
Cool. So they're like more like a one size. Was there a multiple variations or?
Yeah, there was there was two variations that I had, like 6 months and 12 months in sizes.
Okay, so obviously selecting a product is very personal. I've often said that, like you could choose a product today and you're happy, and then tomorrow you've got a cold and suddenly it's a shit product.
Hmm.
So it's a very emotional driven. I try and use data quite often, but I've noticed that people just add some really random ideas of why they're choosing the product.
Hmm.
What made you or convinced you that they were going to be a winner? What data did you use, and what convinced you to?
Yeah, so this was I was starting out, and I was at that point doing wholesale and transitioning to like private label. And so I was at a trade show, and I saw this woman who had a booth, and she had these baby moccasins, right? And I was initially looking to buy from her, just reselling on Amazon. And when she, gave me the pricing, it just didn't work out, right? To, buy from her and resell on Amazon, there wouldn't be enough margin. So I was talking to her, and she was actually really nice. And she said, you just make these yourself in China. And so I'm like, okay, so then, came back home, and I'm like, I looked into it, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to make this in China. What I being newer into private label, what I didn't really what I didn't really factor in was, one, there was a lot of competition, and a lot of competition at very cheap prices, like selling for like $9.99.
Yeah.
And I was buying these for like, $6 because I was trying to make a better quality product. So I had to sell it, for like, 16, 17, $18. And it just didn't take off at that price. There was just too much competition at lower prices. And, I thought, I think like many people do, make this mistake with private label. It's like, I'm going to charge more, than everybody else because I think I have better quality product. But the market doesn't really care or want to pay more for the product.
Yeah, it's often what happens is people get embedded in decision making on a product. Get it down the road, they put on all their add-ons, their landed costs are double that they originally were. So suddenly they go, oh, okay, this is now a premium product, which is
Right.
based on the fundamentals of what their costs have changed. Therefore, it's that. But obviously, market dictates. So in terms of like, I'm a big believer in time is money, and
Hmm.
I'd rather lose money than my time because I can
Hmm.
always earn money back. So, in
Right.
terms of what did you lose from this, in terms of both monetary and in loss of time before you gave up on the product?
Obviously, it's the opportunity cost of going into another product that I could have launched right during that time. And yeah, I ended up pretty much so I lost, I guess, the time value of my money, right, where I could have done something else with the money and
Yeah.
made money. I ended up pretty much having to, drop the price on Amazon and kind of liquidate the product
Yeah.
essentially.
So,
Um,
did you walk away with any cash, or were you like 2 or 3 grand in the hole and 3 months of your time invested? Or
um, I mean, I think I probably lost money on it, but I was able to recover, some of my initial purchase on it. The mistake I made too is that, I initially launched one variation of this, and initially it kind of did okay, and then I launched more variations of other designs, of this. So I brought on more styles, and and it just didn't work,
yeah,
and had to essentially liquidate, and probably with PPC costs and everything else, you have to take a loss on it, and get rid of it. But the I did probably after a couple months realize like this was a loser,
Yeah.
and I need to liquidate. So, I think the lesson for me also there was like, don't fall in love with your product.
Mm.
If you realize that it's you made a bad decision, you need to get out of it as soon as you can.
Yeah.
And not waste your time, like you said.
Would you feel that you held on for it too long? It's like you could have probably shaved a month off, but instead you try to do a few more launches on it, more giveaways, throw more money at it in the hope that you would turn it around.
Yeah, I think so. And I think even like adding more variations was a mistake. And, this was kind of like what I would call like a rookie mistake. I didn't really evaluate the data on Amazon,
Yeah.
I think I see so many people doing the same thing, and it's, mistake that I made is, you see a product first and then you decide you bring it to Amazon instead of looking at data first on Amazon and making a decision based on like the hardcore data of what's there and bringing a product. So I'll give you, so the two most common mistakes like that I see, and this is kind of like the same thing that I did was, somebody like a nutritionist says, I have this like great formulation for this like vitamin, supplement product. I'm going to bring it to Amazon, but they don't realize how, crazy competitive certain categories of supplements can be, right? And doesn't make any sense. Or another thing that I see is, somebody comes to me and says, hey, my friend's uncle has a factory or whatever, and they make this and this product, and I have a great opportunity to buy from them, but that product again is just not the right product to bring into Amazon, and it's kind of the same mistake I made, just like finding the product first at a trade show instead of really looking at the data.
Yeah. And would you also say as well, in terms of the pricing, which always brings me around when I'm looking at new products, I look at the average price of the market. If I'm looking at something and I say I want to sell at $19.99, but I look at the top 5, 6, 7 positions, and they're $9.99, $11.99, $12.99, $8.99. I'm realistic with my $19.99 because there's premium,
right,
and then there's Apple. Yeah. So whereas Apple can double their prices on stuff,
right,
when you sell something on Amazon, you can't just assume, well, I'm going to get $19.99 for that when the average price of the market's a lot lower. Because if you're going to do premium, you've got to look at your max is going to be $13, $14, $15.99. I'm not saying that's exclusive across the board.
right.
I'm just saying is that if there's a constant theme of price on Amazon and you want to sell premium, there has to be a ceiling to that premium.
Right.
People are going to look at that and go, well, I do like it, but do I really want to pay near enough double? And I think it's at that point is where they stop in their tracks. The other thing I would say, and this is just assuming this is bro science I'm going to go into now, kids, babies, parents, value for money, and you've got an infant and you want to dress them up in cool clothing, is like, who you decide which is cool. So I'm imagining that you're getting a lot of click-throughs, but maybe not. There's a lot of window shoppers in that category as well in some cases.
Right.
Because ultimately the baby is their world, isn't it? So they're constantly comparing against other items. Did you find that the conversion rates were lower? Do you get like a high impression rate but low in terms of conversions?
Yes, definitely. And there was other issues too. There are issues with like the sizing of the product too. Mm-hmm. So, people would buy the, 6 months, but they would say, wow, this is like way too big for my, for my infant. And, there is one brand, there's a brand called Robies in that space that is a premium brand. They're able though to charge they charge like $24.99. That's kind of who I was going to compete against.
Yeah, but are they ubiquitous? Have they grown the brand? Are they grandfathered in?
Yes, they're a brand. They're a known brand. With branding. A lot of branding outside of Amazon, and they're in retail stores, and they're like a known brand. So they're able to command that price. And I think also one of my mistakes was thinking that I could compete. At the same level of pricing. And one of the other things that I've also sort of realized with Amazon is that Amazon isn't really a premium marketplace. If you look at the best-selling, products on Amazon, you don't see like Rolex watch, right? Like as a popular product on Amazon, you see watches that are like, You know, the most popular watches are probably $20, $30 on Amazon, right? They're not
Yeah.
$300, $400, $500 watches. Or, you know, if you look at shoes on Amazon, right? The best selling shoes are probably like $40, $50, $60. They're not $200 shoes.
Yeah.
So Amazon isn't really, you know, it's not like a premium marketplace. So if you're coming out with a product, you're much better off going for that middle tier of like, you know, good quality and not like premium quality. And I think I was also trying to go for like, you know, the factory that was making my product, at least what they told me, right? You never know what your factory tells you, but they did make a quality product, and they told me they were making, you know, moccasins for like Michael Kors, right? The product quality was good, but like the market didn't really care, and people didn't want to pay the price. And I was too much of a rookie to realize those, you know, those things, those mistakes. I kind of saw a product at a trade show, fell in love with it, said, hey, I think it's be great on Amazon, and went and launched it. And it was just not really looking at the data.
Yeah. And basically the other thing that draws the conclusion on this as well is that lessons learned is that you try to compete with a larger brand that's obviously grandfathered in.
Right.
You've gone and taken a product to try and sell at a premium price when ultimately the average price on the page is a lot lower and you're an unknown brand. And
right.
Like I said, is that you didn't use any data on Amazon data to really quantify whether this is the right product or not. So moving forward now, lessons learned from that project, you come out slightly behind, you lost more time than you did with money.
Right.
What are your three main metrics now for selecting a product going forward?
Yeah, so definitely the first thing I look at is definitely customer demand, right? Yep. You know, I'm not looking to invent something new. I'm looking for customer demand, number one. So I want to make sure when I'm looking at something on Amazon, when I'm looking at a product, that there's enough demand, right? That there isn't just like one seller on the first page making all the revenue, that there's depth to it, right? That there's going to be a bunch of sellers on the first page at, you know, $10,000 a month in revenue, you know, 17,000, 7,000, 15,000, right? I use market intelligence from ViroLaunch. I run it and I look at that. The second thing is, you know, the other thing I look at is the keyword, right? Trying to understand what the main keyword is, and figuring out, okay, can I rank for this keyword, right? So which leads me kind of to the third thing, which is looking at the reviews. So when I look at the first page of the search results on Amazon, I'm looking to see, like, am I going to be, if I get to the first page, because getting to the first page doing giveaway is not difficult. It's sticking the landing that I think is really difficult, right? So if I land on the first page and I have 0 reviews, or, you know, I'm going to get, you know, 5, 10 reviews the first month, what am I going to be able to stay on the first page? Because who is surrounding me? Is it going to be everybody else taking the clicks away because everybody else has 500 plus reviews around me? Or are there some people on the first page with 20 reviews, 30 reviews, 50 reviews that are actually doing well, right? And I know that if they can do well, and I can create, you know, some kind of differentiation and a better listing, better packaging, and add some kind of value, that I can compete. So, you know, for me, the three things are really like understanding the customer demand, understanding the main keyword, looking at the reviews. And, you know, I guess I would also add is, you know, you don't want something that's overly saturated, right? So you want to see the depth of enough people doing well with the product, but you don't want to see pages and pages of the same product, you know, on Amazon. So if I go to page 2, 3, 4, and I still see the same product, then, you know, that's a warning sign that, you know, hey, there's also a lot of competition.
Cool. So to summarize it all, what would be the one piece of advice you would give to our listeners and viewers?
So I would say, you know, the biggest piece of advice is don't back into a product on Amazon, meaning, you know, don't have this product idea first and then go say, hey, I'm going to bring it to Amazon. You really need to understand the data when it comes to Amazon. So the one piece of advice is know what your main keyword is, right? Look at tools that can give you search volume, like, you know, Helium 10, for example, will give you, you know, if you search on like Magnet, it'll give you the Amazon search volume. So you need to see, is there enough actual people searching for this keyword, trying to figure out what that main keyword is. And then based on that main keyword, look at the data of what it looks like on Amazon to figure out, can I compete, and is there enough market demand? And, and then the same thing, like, the other thing is, don't think that you're going to bring a new product with no reviews and you're going to charge a lot more than everybody else, because it's going to be difficult to do.
Cool. Excellent. Let's leave that there. So Liran, how can people reach you?
So people can email me, liran@amazingfreedom.com. You can also message me on Facebook. And actually right now, we have a free training series going on right now that I'm doing with Andy. And you can get that at amazingfreedom.com/early and get that training series.
Fantastic. Okay, guys, thanks for joining us today. Liran, thank you again. We look forward to having you back again soon.
Thanks for having me.